God has given me a future and a hope. I have been in a very had a very traumatic history. I had my daughter when I was 15 years old. I got pregnant when I was in the 9th grade, and my family wanted me to have an abortion. I didn't know anything about raising a kid by myself or being a teen mom. Finally, everybody came to peace. I was going to get married, and 3 weeks before my wedding to her dad that I loved so much, he was murdered. So not only was I 7 months pregnant, 3 weeks away from my wedding, but the love of my life was gone, and I didn't know what else to do. My strength came because I had a life living inside of me, and I knew that I had to provide for her and fight for her and live. Well, I had God in my life. I knew him. I had a form of godliness, but I really didn't know the Lord like I know him today. I thought he was a tyrant. I thought I had to be married in order to be accepted. And so as I was at church, I met a guy. I thought, wow, he's so godly, he's so awesome. And we started to date and see each other and just, be around all the functions at church. And literally holding hands led to having sex. And the first time that we had sex, I got pregnant. I knew it was wrong. I felt guilty. I didn't want to get myself involved in this, but I opened the door. Well, as soon as it came out, 3 weeks later, I was pregnant. Everything that I had in my life, I lost. I had a job in ministry. I had, a teaching job, and I lost everything because I was pregnant out of wedlock. And I was very driven and motivated to have a better life. And I thought, okay, we're going to get married. We're going to get a place and all this stuff. And we did. We got married right away. But that night, he didn't spend the night with me. And very quickly, I found out what abuse was. I found out what drug addiction was that he had. But I knew that God had thoughts of me, and they were good, and they were for a future and a hope. And I knew that if I seeked him with all my heart, that I would find him, and he would rescue me from all this destruction. So I am pregnant now with my second child. We're homeless. We're at the Sand and Sage Motel in Fontana. I'm in malnutrition. I'm going to the hospital all the time for premature labor, and didn't know how to get out of this. When I got married, or at least my hopes for what a marriage would look like, I thought I was going to have a partner for life, somebody that was going to be there for me and for my kids. But what I really ended up getting was somebody that beat me, that took advantage of me, that took advantage of my children, made an environment that was very unsafe and very scary. And I knew that God wanted me out of that relationship, but I didn't know how to leave. And I remember him being at this crossroads in Arizona where I had this guy on this side and had my future on the other side, but I really didn't know what that future was. I just really had to trust God. And I remember there was a scripture where Moses is at the Red Sea, and he says, quit praying, get the people moving forward, march. And that's what I had to do. I had to just get going forward. And I went forward, and now I have a better life. That opposition, me being in that shelter, being able to go to my paralegal school, I got to be able to go back, and now I'm a paralegal for 16 years. That's how I support my family. Through something that was tragic turned out to be something that is awesome. And having God as my shield, as everything to me, that's why I have the life that I have now, and that's why I have my daughter too. I was terrified to be a mother at age 14. I didn't even know what my future would look like, but I said yes, and I believe I said yes to God when I said yes to having my baby. And because I made the hard decision to say yes, I have seen God bless my life so much, in so many ways. I've had so many victories, and I have seen God bless my daughter in all of her hard decisions, in all of the hard choices that she's faced. She keeps pressing in and saying yes to God, and that makes me so happy.